Hey there, mates. This is Discovery Scouts of Pirates of the Caribbean film series here. Today, today's Friday, March 3rd, 2017. Welcome back to the Caribbean series right now. So, we're talking about and the quoting answer and the committed to today is the day as a mid 7060 on Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales in the British Bermuda in the town today. So this is a prologue today. Today is in mid 1730s. In the mid history, knowing things about Captain Jack Sparrow as in knowing things about the prologue is the 5 pirate ships around and about a devil and around the 7 seas along to the pirate fleet. Individuals is mostly having a live action, so the live fantastic today is the most very most important by the all new music by Gio Zanelli today. We're gonna have the new to talk to you about an attack of the pirate fleet today. Note Amanda Salazar, no sister, played by Javier Bardem, and innocent Spanish soldiers orders to kill every pirate at sea in the mid 1730s. The one had the rest of the whole life of the last ship. He knows of the Black Pearl. As a young man, as the last pirate of the sea. The name Jack Sparrow. His compass left behind the ghosts and everywhere. The sailor almost going through into the Devil's Triangle, into the dark, into that the deadly island, and in the Devil's Throat. They're literally falling by the Silent Mary. They're the biggest giant, the ship of the line, lost to the 78 cannons on Triathlon, the made of about 36 pounds. It mostly has 500 pounds. If it mostly pushing and mostly to push through, and around ordering to the 2 anchors. But when the Pearl under the white sail was turning around, when Mary came into the throat and the Devil's Throat, Salazar's left behind. They're just literally to turn it back around to the left. They're watching the explosive into that darkness. Foggy in the night returns the underworld. They have an explosive of the ships, and many of the Spanish soldiers turn there into the burn of fire, death, drowning. If it goes explosive and transformating into the ghost ships. Their life stories. Many of them Amanda just left behind. He fell down to the ocean. They fell to the deep, drowning. They're still alive. He's still alive. He just considering opens the eyes. He was still alive. He rages, finding reaction. He left behind after that the attacking of the pirate fleet. The rest of the pirate ships left behind. Misses. He prologuing after all. Considering about to kill every pirate of the sea in the mid 1730s, Salazar was transforming into the ghost into their and this body is. Their very most disappointments and about the formerly in the Spanish Royal Navy. In the crew of the Silent Mary, the loss of transforming from the Spanish ships on the ship of the line to the ghost ships. They weren't half of the communicating. They're returning from the underworld into the clouds, the darkness, and nights. He knows who will find the way about the 30 years past. in the mid 1760s, when the Jack Sparrow, Henry and Karina Smith on Bermuda Triangle on this island. There are lots of the British ships and lots of the British soldiers and lots of peoples where they were following to escape from for Bermuda. For today is a day. As it escaped with the quest of the dead men tell no tales, in the quest of the trident of Poseidon, Salazar's revenge. Exactly Jack Sparrow and he knows it has no pants. He wears almost be underwear. Underwear is undressable. But when Henry wears the red coat and the red coat, considering he was saying the Spanish would come on for the Jack. He just slept in his. I'm sorry. Were you still talking? He's still confused. He's still not the confused and everything. Like he says, Henry will find Karina will save his life by her night until his death. She misses and misses, and she hung up there and saves her, rescuing to finding to escape. We will bring to the black pearl in the bottle still. They're not gonna open until about one day. We're told about the board the small ships, the dying goal. They were sailing through the seven seas. They were finding the way around to the island. A lot of those stuffs are really most important. It's really gonna have to be on the way to finding the way the sparrows into the dread phantom zones into the ships, and around to the ocean, runs into the water, runs with the water. They try to trace on it into the Karina Smith. They're captured, and the woman talks about Hector Barbosa, captain on the Queen Anne's Revenge, and his crew. Scrum, Josh Mead Gibbs, and Marty was reunited from 10 years. They were considering about he be here to help to finding a way about the pearl out of the bottle. When they seen the black pearls back in the 1760, they are reunited in the mid 1760 from the Blackbeard. He's gone today for the last 10 years. So Barbosa came. We see the house. We got the pearl back. We got Gladys the pearl back. So they were considering his dad finding a way to Will Turner, living from the land of the dead. He is transforming from like the Davy Jones of At World's End. When the Flying Dutchman, captained by Will Turner from Davy Jones. He looks like it about Davy Jones stuff. He's not the tentacle stuff. He's not the tentacles in the beard. He seems look like about Bootstrap Bill Turner, but his father. But he's gone mostly about every 20 years. But Elizabeth Turner's one left behind on the Port Royal, so she's still retirement. His mom was worried about for 10 years to be the longest of time. But when the Green Flash just mentioned, Elizabeth's one mention of a command rumor, mostly due Karina Smith, still holiday. She's still played by Kyle Scalorio, her husband, her child, Benjamin Walker, and the child name was I don't know what gonna happen in Wikipedia yet. So we'll still have about 153-minute movies, and the running time 153 minutes. Every time the most vulnerable under the Silent Mary follows the different pirate ships. they really dislike it and about killing every pirate at sea. And there there are a lot of the British ships arrival there into their in the devil's throat into the night in underworld, turns to the fog under the water. When the Silent Mary stayed behind, they're living into 30 years. When it did kill a lot of lieutenants and officers and captain and the soldiers, and all of the soldiers are captured to the Henry Turner. He finds a way left of them behind, but he formula the rescue for Henry. He tries to escape, and he could find Jack and Karina, and they're doing the confirmation and advancing. But he knew to find a way. But he knew it seems about 20 years about his slaves about completed for the quest for the Fountain of Youth. For the now it's been about them and Town of Tales and the hunt for the trident of Poseidon. A lot of them the ocean on the Atlantic seas on the Caribbean. They have the most 25,000 feet into the depths beside the way into the continents. Those before all the way into the Caribbean around the seas to the crossing to the Atlantic Ocean into the country of Africa, London, England, France, and the Americas, and the Bermuda, and the Caribbean, back in there, in the prison. So, don't mention Tortuga. And same thing like in the North Star for the Captain of the Queen Anne's Revenge. There are new sails on there. That was the old one from the Blackbears. There's all Barbosas, all of his ships, and been about 10 years of being captain. There's a lot of individuals, and a lot of them about the pirate slave. So they're distracted to swinging around to the British ships, and to the swing down, just to the forward, to breaking a lot of the ships and the explosion and making the firestorms. When the Salazar destroying the British ships ordered by a ghost ships. There's a lot of them 150 ghost ships into the Spanish. But that's what the ghost Spanish do. Maybe much like the ghost pirates do. They're returning to the ghost pirates after the explosives about 30 years. They were revenging of Jack Sparrow beside the captain on the Black Pearl. For the last thing, they're sailing through the hunt of the Poseidon. It looks like the waterfall on the quick. They're the most of 30,000 feet. The loss that anchored the memorability, not to follow from the pearl, and the pearl's not gonna fall. They're sailing straight, and Jack, Henry, and Karina will swinging into their anchor beside her under the blue into the water. They try to waving around. They try to close it. It tries to close it under the ocean floor. It tries to splash it. He tries to swim all the way up. He swim back to the ships. They get out the water, and Barbosa face to face by Salazar's on the Queen Anne's Revenge during the third one attack on the pirate ship. They literally seems about to mention that like the Pearl, same as Revenge. What do you do about the Salazar and his crew? So capturing on the ship, capturing a lot of the pirate crew. They are unwelcome to the Silent Mary. Then seems like that the former Barbosa's former the commander of the sea of Poseidon married. He says he was confront Salazar. He wasn't saying no, pirates. Jack Sparrow is pirates. Salazar says he would reply formally for Barbosa. He did what he could. What he says, no idea. He had no idea won't lose to his ships from the red sails on the pirate flag. All the things you know was in a very commentary. It wasn't the communicating. It seems like that the Pearl most likely revenge on the dead men telling their tales. The building on the set of the Imagine, like hundreds of crew on the last 2 years in the mid 2015. And most of the full movie, most of the agreement, the Salazar jumped down to the revenge. They look up Barbosa's back. He left, but he looked slowly behind. He was looked like it about finding the hunt for the trident of Poseidon, like under the ocean. There's a sea monster beside of a deepless into the blue sea. There's a ghost hammerhead, the great white sharks. All the ghost sharks. To try to swim around, he almost eat a Jack or a Henry. It misses, but he turn around and jumps down the water. When the ghost great white shark tries to miss it for eating for Jack and Henry. And Karina swam alone straight to the beach when 150 ghost crews just run into the water to the Korean's man, runs to the beach, tries to chase it. Nothing has no idea in most really form up out there. They're ready to try it out to capture her and finding a way to Pearl and Jack Sparrow, and Hector Barbosa finds a way about seeing the Pearl to the Pearl and revenge, and we can hunt for the trident Poseidon. There's a no ghost whales. There's a normal way to the sea monster called in the Moby Dick, just like in the heart of the sea. There's a white sperm whale beside of the sea, like a giant, like a 10,000 pounds, or maybe not. We could do 15,000 pounds of the strongest whales around the seas. Like a hunt in the Poseidon, like a Jack the Monkey found the compass for Jack. Seems like it's a Jack the Monkey and Jack Sparrow. Seems even like an monkey. Scares him like the full trailer for second trailer of the day. He surely finds a way to searching the island for the trident Poseidon do. So the Pearl is just like about the white to the black. Where the black sails just arriving, think of like from previously preceded by the Pirates and the Misfits, Percy Jackson's second movie, San Andreas, The Legend of Tarzan, Baywatch, Beauty and the X, The Choice, the romantic movies, and Black Sails films, Black Sails series of a season, just like it about the pirate ships on the Spanish warship, borrowed by Captain Flint. So be righteousness about the change about the Pirates of the Caribbean film for the franchise. So every neither for Jack and Barbosa was the two of the same ships, like the Queen Anne's Revenge and the Black Pearl, seems to be decided to befriend and true love most of the ships all together, and there's all of the borders out into all of the pirate ships. They all tours through into their the Tortuga, And maybe the Camille mentioned on the Brethren Court. He will knew about the decided to scene about the Bermuda from the British ships. Seems like the side to see about the defeating of Salazar and into the ghost crews of the Spanish soldiers, a transformation of about 30 years. Salazar will defeat Jack Sparrow and Barbosa and his crew with victory. Henry and Karina and Josh Miguez, Marty and Scrum and a lot of those pirates, and Salazar will die, and villains has the Spanish Navy and the British, and the pirates has heroes today. While Souls was the most communicating things about the note about so insanely sad about the things about the pirates and marauders and buccaneers. For every most moments about every 2 about minutes ago, it seems like that have been completed over the hunt for the trident of Poseidon. They have been defeating Fort Salazar and his crew, and sunking into the site in ghost ships into the depths beside of the Davy Jones locker. And the Flying Dutchman is back on night. For Will Turner turns her into the sea turtles. Well, he seems his dad liked it about for 10 years. Like it at World's End. Like it after that at World's End. Elizabeth still's home on the Port Royal's retirement. She's gonna be the pirate on a new captain on the Empress. She was very most DNA and most of the build up for in the mid 2017 this year. For this plan, all we build it about a 300 crew building for the Flying Dutchman. In the Empress, Queen Anne's Revenge still, Black Pearl 2, and all of the British Armadas, and Spanish, Dutch, French, all in the Armadas for free-for-alls, and aiding for the pirate ship, and including Camaro is in the American fleet for the American fleet, and including down there into the sea monsters like Leviathan, the Krakens, biggest giant whales, Megalodon, the sharks, and mermaids, evil little stuffs, make it cool, like a very most awesome, make it the most beautiful ever, make it beautiful, like a Hoist of Colors on the 6 movies, like totally about even the most of have a sea of monsters, like a Carburetus, who goes there at about 2013, Carburetus like the Kraken's Mouth, like in 2006, we're gonna attacking and the destruction skirmishes off of the Isla Cruces, and killed by the Davy Jones. He died or about was born, and about even though about years ago, when long ago about the aftermath, Salazar was defeated. The Ghost End for announcing a change. For the Amanda Salazar was defeated. Amanda Salazar was death. And the ghost ships from the Spanish soldiers was defeated. He was splashing a waving by the trident Poseidon and the whale too. They decided will seem like that about helpless, goodful for everything. So thank you for watching about Polo today, about 153-minute running time. So don't forget to subscribe for more content. So follow on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Google Revised, Twitch/Stream, Gaming Channels, Jerky Stores, Elma, New Jersey State, Cox Story, Talk, Tom Allow, Hangouts on the Play Store, so Google Play. Follow links description of friends on the Jugger Nuggets, Big Brother, Joey Stahlbarger, Kid Behind the Camera, Bridget West, The Anchor Grandpa Shows, Grandpa's Corner, Psycho Dad, Joe Bum, Larry Lounge, Psycho Aunts, Psycho Uncles, and Melissa, Psycho Mom, Manicure, and Jelly White, Crocodile Buzz, Parker Zippo, Parkers for Life, Mark Lucasons, Derek Diesel Daily, Tony Tornado as Crazy Boyfriend, Crazy in Love, The Amanda Jean Show, Facilita with Dara's girlfriend, Space Jam Scarters, Life of Moko and Boog, Cuba Guy to Cuba Guy Life, Horrible Gamer, The Boog Show, Woman Atwood Wings, Pranks vs. Prank, BF vs. GF, Alice Anna Larman, Logan Larman, Brandon T. Jackson, Leva Rabin, Jim Perrick, Douglas Smith, Jake Aba, Ali Wood, Justin Ben Furlander, Kay Upton, and Alexander Daddario Topic Forever, Alex Anna, Daddario Alessandra, Selena Gomez, Megan Fox, Henry Cavill, Margie Robbie, Celine, and Justin Bieber, and David Henry, Johnny Depp, Jeffrey Rush, Henry Tharp, and Brent Authorities, Kyle Scolorio, Benjamin Walker, Teresa Palmer, Mark Webber, Maggie Grace, and Amy Adams, Ben Affleck, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Kevin Hart, and Nerdy Millie here, and Samantha, don't forget the rest of it, and Team Creed, Both Squad, Reagan Dad, and the subscription actor director here, Zac Efron, Alfred Hadera, Kelly Wood Budge, John Bass, Adam Devine, Robert Emil, and Shelly Shanae. And don't forget the subscription, all of the subscribers today. Do not forget, everybody guys, so don't forget to keep it rich and middies. Ladies and gentlemen, we're after the quest. Feel free to death. So don't forget to keep it rich, middies. Have a great night. Have a good Friday.